we got some twists in the tales of Kojima Productions as the Xbox partnership has resurfaced. This comes via way of VentureBeat and more specifically Jeff Grubb. He's always got the scoops. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
He's doing a show over there on YouTube. He's got some scoops. Why has he never given me any scoops? I don't know. He says that Hideo Kojima's deal with Xbox reaches a key milestone. They have signed a letter of intent that states the two parties intend to work out the deals of a publishing agreement for a new Xbox game, according to sources familiar with the matter. Microsoft and Kojima's teams have spent months discussing a possible partnership, and now it is more likely than ever that those conversations will bear fruit. The deal is so close that Microsoft has begun preparing for what Kojima will need to make his new game. Last week, Microsoft announced that it had hired Portal and Left 4 Dead developer Kim Swift to oversee partnerships for cloud-based games. Ooh. Swift most recently worked at Google's cloud gaming service Stadia, RIP. Microsoft hired her with the purpose of assisting in making Kojima's cloud game a reality. Well, it is very unlikely that Microsoft's deal will prohibit Kojima from working with other companies. For now, Kojima Productions continues to work with Sony on Death Stranding Director's Cut for PlayStation 5. Let's start at the top, John. They signed a letter of intent. What the hell does that mean to you?
Just letter of intent is just the idea of, hey, we're looking at what we need to do to work together. That's just all it is. It's, hey, you want to work with us, we want to work with you. Let's put it on paper that we're going to work together, and we're going to kind of do the check mark thing of, oh, this is what you need. This is what we're looking for. It's kind of a gentleman's agreement, if you will, of what we want to do together, and let's see what we have to do to get to that point of us officially working together. So I wouldn't, the most I would read into that one is just, oh, they really do want to work together. They found a common ground that they want to work together. Now it's just putting all the pieces in place to make Kojima's game a reality based in whatever Xbox and Microsoft want it to be in. So that's the long and short of just a very simple rundown of letter in like intent.
Yeah. So to me it reads like a contract without a contract, like less binding, but like this deal is gonna happen eventually. This has been in the works for a while now, and I think Kojima is looking to Microsoft's push towards cloud, seeing them as now like the front runner ever since Stadia died, and Luna has some catching up to do. They just announced like this week actually that xCloud now allows you to stream games with Series X quality. Like that's what their servers are running now. So yeah, according to this article, I've never heard of this before, but Kojima wants to make a cloud game.
Yeah, that was weird when I read this article. I'm like, what?
Yeah, John, I hope it is profoundly stupid. Like cloud gaming, doing it right now and like going all out on it, I feel like is a profoundly stupid move. But
yes,
I hope that it's not one of those Kojima games that just falls by the wayside. I hope that this is a touchstone that we look on in history as like, wow, that was stupid. I just don't know what the hell is in his brain. And like he's a creative. Kojima. He's a creative, obviously, and like he uses themes of AI and technology in his works, but how familiar he is with what the limitations of cloud is to an already very difficult industry in game development at this point, I have no idea. If he's just like, I just feel like this game is going to explode in the most spectacular fashion possible, and I can't wait for it.
You have a valid point on the AI thing. I'm wondering, and I'm pulling this out of my ass right now. I'm wondering if he wants to use the cloud and the AI concept of the cloud and how it can adapt to you and adapt to what you're doing. I wonder if that's what he wants to do, like
Psycho
a
Mantis
very
simulator.
weird, like Doki Doki style game where it breaks the fourth wall when you're playing it, and you're like, Kojima, how did you know? And it's just because with the power of the cloud and xCloud and all that stuff, that's what it's doing. I could see, because he's a showman. Let's be absolutely honest. He knows how to put on a show when it comes to games, and I would love. I like your idea of like this just exploding beyond our like thought process, like how it actually worked. But I would love this weird Kojima style, completely breaking the fourth wall. The cloud is watching you, AI is everywhere. You just have already accepted it, and here it is, and that's what he wants to do. I would love that idea.
Yeah. I wondered, like, so I told you not to look into it, but like that never went through last week. So like, are you familiar with the like really out there rumors of Blue Box Studios and Kojima?
Okay, so okay, what little I know, because obviously I have to follow the news too, so I can talk about this stuff. Is Blue Box that one developer that like is making the game that everyone thought was Kojima's next game, and he's like, it sucks for this team because they have nothing to do with each other? Is that the Blue Box one?
Yeah,
like
so
more photorealistic.
to
Is that one?
to sort of sum up the conspiracy as quickly as possible, because it is a rabbit hole that you can go down. I think we talked about it in the show, but I can't. I tried to look it up. I couldn't remember when we talked about it. But
yeah,
there was this random blog post one day for this trailer called Abandoned, and it looked like very Silent Hill. And it was a studio that no one have heard of called Blue Box Studios. And it was a very weird trailer with some voiceover talking about it, and it gave off a weird vibe. And everyone was like, got it. This is a front. This is Kojima. And so, like, the conspiracy has been brewing from there that this Blue Box Studios isn't real and they're just a front for Kojima working on the next Silent Hill game. So, part of me thinks that Kojima signed this letter of intent and linked it to Jeff Grubb just to, like, stop Twitter. Just to stop them, you know?
Didn't the actual like CEO or the head dev of Blue Box, didn't he actually has come out and said, dude, guys, I don't know where this is coming from. We have nothing to do with Kojima. Like we're just doing our own thing, and they had to push. I'm pretty sure they pushed the game back as well, and it's kind of one of those like he's trying to put out this fire of no, my name is so and so. I am not Hideo Kojima. This is my game. This is our team, and we've been doing this, and so I feel bad. I actually feel bad for that team because everyone jumped to this. It's Silent Hills. Kojima's back, and you're like,
John, the problem with that is exactly what Kojima would do, and I don't think he's done himself a favor in that regard. He's pulled this shit before.
I need to hire this actor.
Yeah, not as extravagantly, but he has pulled this shit before. And like once you go down the rabbit hole, there is some compelling evidence. Like the guy, the CEO of Blue Box, his name in English means hero, which in Japanese is Hideo. And it's just like shit like that.
You have got to be shitting me. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole that hard. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to send you some links later. You're going to be...
Please send me some links. I'm going to come down this rabbit hole with you, and I'm going to be like, oh my god, it's Hideo Kojima, aren't I? I think I know this. And I'm going to be like, oh, sweet Jesus.
I can't let myself believe it, but part of me is like, this is all part of Kojima's plan. He signed this letter of intent. He has no intention of following through with Microsoft, but he's getting people off the trail. And I don't want to think that.
Threw out a red herring.
No, I don't believe it, but part of me is like, you know, in my head, there's just like a thing going there, you know?
Like, did he do it?
But man,
that'd be great. Let's be absolutely honest. That would be really cool if he did that, though.
Like they mentioned, this deal does. It's like they had gamers made that petition. This deal does not stop Hideo working from any other company he so chooses, including Sony. And so, like, this is a publishing deal for a specific game, this cloud game. And so it could be just like Kojima's trying some weird projects. Like maybe this cloud game is way off because they still haven't signed the damn paperwork yet, and his next thing is with Sony. So like Hideo can do whatever he wants. What's more interesting to me, John, is this deal's been in the works for a long time, and the reason Microsoft have sort of been touting this deal is because obviously they're buying up studios left and right, but they have a big gap when it comes to, you know, foreign studios, Japanese studios specifically, and they want to bolster their Japanese development wing, to try and help with that. But like, that's always been weird to me with this rumor specifically, because the reason you would like to add to your Japanese development side of things is that you want to appeal to the Japanese market, which is like currently dominated by Sony and Nintendo. But Kojima makes very Western games, inspired by Western cinema that appeal to Western audiences. And so, like, I don't think, like, even if they bought Kojima, which they aren't doing with this deal, but it wouldn't count. Like Japanese devs normally make games appealing to that audience, but this wouldn't be an example of that. And so it's just weird to me. Like, it's more coming to fruition now. It's like, okay, Kojima wants to do some weird cloud nonsense. That makes more sense to me. And like Xbox at the same time want to try with like a really creative person and put some weight behind it. So now it's starting to make more sense. But I didn't ever believe that they were going to acquire Kojima Productions.
Yeah, and you're right. That's the win-win, and it's Kojima just being crazy and doing his thing on cloud, and that just helps the xCloud be more of a mainstay in that realm. So, yeah, that the thought process never crossed my mind of Xbox buying Kojima Productions, because that would be insane. I don't think he would. After Konami and all that crap, I think he's going to be just, I'll work with whomever. Probably going to be Sony, but don't look at buying my production company.
Yeah,